Some folks are confused about where Juneteenth comes from. Well, we're here to remedy that. Juneteenth, celebrated on June 19th, dates back to June 19th, 1865, the day after Major General Gordon Granger landed with about 2,000 troops in Galveston in order to occupy Texas on behalf of the federal government. The next day, he read aloud General Order Number 3 from a balcony, which said this: "The people of Texas are informed that, in according with a proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves, and the connection heretofore existing between them becomes that between employer and hired labor. The freedmen are advised to remain quietly at their present homes and work for wages. They are informed that they will not be allowed to collect at military posts and that they will not be supported in idleness either there or elsewhere." So basically, June 19th was the day slaves learned of their freedom under the Emancipation Proclamation, which had gone into effect on January 1st, 1863, but had only freed slaves in territory in rebellion against the United States, which did not include the border states, the counties in Virginia that were creating West Virginia, nor any southern territory under Union control, such as New Orleans and much of Tennessee. This left 500,000 slaves still in their shackles under Union control until the effect of the 13th Amendment kicked in on December 18th, 1865. In short, if you were a slave and the state you lived in was in rebellion, as soon as the territory was taken by the Union, you were free. Whereas if you were in a state that did not rebel, it took almost 2 more years for that freedom to come. And then of course was Reconstruction and a whole nother can of worms, but that's another tale for another day. So what is Juneteenth? It's a day about freedom. It's a day to remember the mistakes we've made in the past and to make sure we don't make them again. Oh, and one last little fun fact. Linconia, or Linconia, or whichever, was the name of a proposed colony that Abraham Lincoln wanted to establish in Panama so that once the slaves were freed, they could be resettled into their own country. Kind of like what James Monroe did with Monrovia. About 350 people went, but it just didn't work out and it was abandoned. Lincoln also had an agreement for a settlement on a Haitian island, paying $50 for each freed slave they take on. Yeah, that one fell through, so Lincoln ended up taking the whole resettlement thing out of the Emancipation Proclamation. True story.